Hi everyone, and welcome to another video in this Hanna Karlzon series from her Seasons book. We are going to do this fun looking little necklace today. I'm actually going to start with the chain. I think it's going to be the easiest place to start. So let's grab a cold grey 5. Okay, this is a Polychromos pencil. If you're not using polys, use a cold grey, so more of a bluey grey rather than a browny grey, and it looks more like silver. You could use a silver, but I find the greys a little bit better, to be honest. So we're going to try and make it look shiny, like we have a metallic necklace. So to do that, we put a little bit of colour, it doesn't want to show up, at each end of this link, like that. It's a bit small. I see it better on this one, so I'm going to sharpen my pencil. Might help us. I'm going to colour, it's quite far away for you to see, a darker bit near where it touches the link, that's better, and leave a white space to make it look shiny. I try and fade it a little bit towards the white from a darker area near here and less towards the centre, and I'm going to do the same on every link. And just work our way through the whole necklace. Now, some people wouldn't do the whole thing the same way. They would vary the place that the shine is so that it looks a bit more realistic, I suppose. But for me, this is the easiest way to make it look shiny, and so that's how I'm going to do it. Hopefully you'll find it quite straightforward too. Leaving that white gap is crucial. If you accidentally cover over the white, you could use a cover over that bit of paper. I mean, you could use a white pen. Hannah's paper is reasonably white, but I think you would have to use it for every gap to make it sort of work. I do find it easier just to leave a space, but you do need a sharp pencil and a steady hand, which isn't always easy to achieve. Depends on the brand of pencil and on your hands. I know sometimes my hands are steadier than others. I'm lucky though, they're usually fairly good. My husband and son suffer from shaky hands, but they seem to manage okay. Right, we're working through. Just looking outside, it's quite gloomy. I was thinking of going out. I don't know if I feel like it really. It's so gloomy, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll have a think about it later. I think it said it was going to clear up on my computer, gives me weather, but I'm never quite sure how accurate it is. I tend to use the BBC weather page or even the Met Office, but my computer, I think it's Microsoft or something weather. It said it was going to snow, but no one else is forecasting snow, so I wasn't really sure that I believed it. It seems quite warm as well. Now, I realise I'm wearing a cardigan, but I feel a bit too hot. Like I need to take it off. So I'm not sure it's going to snow. I suppose it doesn't need to get that cold to snow, but really it's a little bit odd. But it's been raining for ages, so it's not going to settle unless the temperatures plunge, but we're not due to have that cold. The newspapers were saying we're going to, but I think probably only in Scotland and further north where they get the colder weather anyway, being where they're located. Although when we had all the snow before Christmas, they didn't. Scotland got it, but north of England didn't. It's quite an odd thing. So it was, and actually some parts of Scotland didn't sort of lower parts. Scotland didn't actually get much snow. And we got more than my sister, and she lives further north. She was quite jealous. Usually she gets more, it's about time we did. Like that was our turn. So anyway, this takes a little while. You have to be quite patient, and because it's quite a small area as well, but it's just a repeated thing over and over. So, you know, I find it quite meditative and relaxing. You don't have to keep thinking about colour choices and things like that. You can just go for it. Okay, now we're at the sort of pendant part. I think I might come in a little bit closer for you. Or you can come in significantly closer. I just have to move my book. Whoops. I need to lift up my pencils to push my book underneath. There we go. Okay, now this little piece here I think would be silver, because they tend to be, so I'm going to leave a little shine bit in the middle like that. Now the balls either side, I think I'm going to do silver too, thinking they're part of the chain. The chain's got no clasp, I notice. I guess it's long enough to slip over your head. Now we've got our pendant, so we'll think about some different colours. Now the centre, we've got a gemstone. Now on this page so far, I've only got greens, golds or yellows and reds. And I'm thinking maybe, should I stick to that colour scheme? But I've got a snowflakey type thing later, which is going to be blue. We've got flames, they're going to introduce some orange. So maybe it doesn't matter. Let's make it, should make it a cold wintry colour, but not, let's do it in purple. That's quite a cold colour, but it's a nice colour to use. So I'm going to grab my darkest purple, which is the mauve. It's really small, my mauve, so you can't, there's no point in me trying to show you it. Now you can start with light and go to dark. If you're using Prismas, that tends to be a better method, but for polys, I tend to like to go from dark to light. Now I'm going to actually ignore this little bit that's been drawn on for shine. So I'm going dark around the edge and then less towards the middle like that. I'm just reducing the amount of colour. Then I want a slightly lighter colour. I think I will go for the violet. Just need to sharpen it because we do have quite a small space. So this is my violet. Again, very short. I need to get replace some purples, I think. So I'm keep going around. And I want to really fade it in the middle. I want to make it look like it's a sort of rounded gemstone, in the sense that it's flat on its bottom, but it's bowed out. Yeah, but we don't want too much white, so I'm just gently over colouring until I feel that it is where I want it to be. I think we're there. Now the edge, I want it to be really dark, so it looks like there's a shadow between the edge of the stone and the rounded surround. So I'm going to grab a black. Now I don't want to apply lots of black, so I'm just going to use a little bit, just right on the edge, on top of the black line that's already there pretty much, just to make it look like that it's cast a shadow around there like that. And then I'm going to grab the mauve again and just sort of go over that bit just a little. There we go. Now I'm not gonna, that bit there, it shows us it should be white. We need to do that with white because it's going to look odd otherwise, but I'm not going to do it right now. Just checking out that's looking, yeah. I just had to duck around to check the colour. So I'm going to use both the mauve and the violet to do some of these outside pieces as gemstones. I'm thinking firstly this bit. So I've got the mauve, and I'm going to go around the edge and reduce my pressure, do less layers towards the middle so that we leave a lighter piece in the middle. I'm going to do that for each of these. So layer it up around the edge and then a little less towards the middle. And I've left a lighter piece. It doesn't have to be completely white. I do want it to look like there's a bit of shine in that centre. I think it just looks a little bit more gemstone-y. So I'm just taking it nice and slowly. It's quite dark, this necklace, isn't it? Imagine wearing it on top of a sort of silver gown or even a white one. That would look nice, wouldn't it? And then we're going to go for the violet on these end ones, a little bit lighter. Same technique though, all the way around the edge with a tiny gap in the middle if you can. It is a very small space. It's a little bit tricky. Just do the best you can. Everyone will know what you're trying to achieve, even if you don't quite get there. Now these bits that are left, I'm thinking I want to do in silver. So I've grabbed my Cold 5 again. Now for this surround piece, I want there to be some shine. So I'm not worrying about direction of light. I'm just going to make it darker on each side and fade it towards the top and bottom. I just find this an easy way to make it look like there's a bit of shine without having to worry and stress too much about direction. And these pieces, I sort of ignore that line down the middle and just fade it towards the tip. It would be dark here where it's near that stone setting. I don't know what you call it. Maybe there isn't a word. I don't know. There we go. And now we're going to add our white pen. I did grab my Posca, but I think we need something a lot slimmer. So I'm going to use this Gellyroll 05. It's got a really fine tip. I'm just going to scribble it on some scrap. Because it's such a fine nib, sometimes it blocks. But what I'm going to do is I want to add a little bit of white on these little ones on the edge. Come on, pen. There we go. It does give quite a fine line. Now when you're doing shine, follow the curve of whatever it is you're trying to add shine to. Got that bit's quite big. I'm going to use a Posca for that bit. This is the smallest Posca, the PC1MR. Now with this bit I actually want to try and cover the black if I can, without it looking too messy. I'm actually going to try and go over these bits because they're so faint. That 05 pen, I can get it to work, but it takes a bit of patience, which I haven't got today. There we go. Just gonna go over black there. Now let's come out so you can see the whole thing from a bit further away. I think that's enough. Let's put it into shot. There we go. So there is our necklace. So that was fun. I had fun with that. And it looks, I mean, this does look like a snowflake sort of design, but I haven't coloured it like that. But you can do it however you wish. So there we go. So thank you very much for watching. I do hope that you have a really lovely day and happy colouring.